And we should be live in 3, 2, 1. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Sunday Koi Chat live with me, Twisted Koi. Big George Loman Koi is in the house. Big Ty from the Koi Pit has just literally joined us. How we're doing out there, cupcakes? I have put a link in the comments if anyone out there wants to come on and join us and say hi and tell us about their koi keeping. Other than that, how are we doing? Big George, you've had some changes on your pond build, haven't you?
Aye, mate. Started fiberglassing yesterday, so it's all been done. 2 layers, everything done. We're hoping to get the top coat done today, but due to the 40 mile an hour winds and heavy rain, it's been postponed, hopefully, for tomorrow. And that'll be top
Oh,
coated, done, and ready to rock and roll for the rest of it. So,
oh mate,
look,
I can't wait to see water finally in it. It's taken you how
all
long?
right,
How are we doing, Mark? And guys and
long
girls,
enough.
Bubbles is in. I don't expect there to be a lot watching us today because there is the Koi show going on at Newark today. And for those that were hoping to see me at Newark, I really do apologise, but my man Rocket Boy had other plans already prearranged with his good lady, and I haven't got used to the car this weekend. So, yeah, it's just one of them things. We will be at the All England without a shadow of a doubt. So, yeah, but I have literally just stopped to take a break, chat to you guys out there before I go back to laying bricks. Yep,
Yeah, looks like
getting
the footings are, Vince. How's it
yep,
getting
footings
along?
are in, footings are in, and I've already done 2 courses in one gap between the post holders, and I've started the second one, and then there's one to go, and then once that goes off, then it's serious time to look at emptying the pond, because that is the only way I'm going to be able to progress both the changes that are going to happen with the porch coming out and the patio going in. Well, I can't go any further with that once the brickwork's in until I empty the pond. How are we doing, Will? Till I empty the pond. And the reason for that is because all the soil that's going to be coming out of what is going to be the new pond is going to be my backfill for what is going to become the new back patio. So it sort of all interlinks, like, very much like you with your I'm not gonna do my pond on my decking yet because I need to over engineer it a little bit more. But
Yeah, I
no,
get that.
so yeah, it is all interlinked, and at the same time I've got a lot of preparation to do for not next weekend, the weekend after, because I've got Koi Tuber Fest at New Forest
Mhm.
Koi. That's going to be epic, epic. So yeah, there's still a lot of prep work to be done down there for that. We did a chunk of it on Friday, but yeah, it's gonna be an epic day, you know.
You put the 4
So,
before posts in, Vince, or 3x3s?
through the
And
threes,
you're
yeah. And the reason I went for 3x3s is because in those metal post holders that you bolt into the concrete, between the 4-inch ones and the 3-inch ones, there's a difference of about 12 quid.
aye, they're there. They are there.
And then when
You
you're
might,
looking at the 4x4 uprights, you're then looking at 30 quid a fucking upright.
well, see, when you put them
Yeah.
in the post holders, we found when we were doing one of our jobs, the post holders are actually smaller than the actual post itself. So you'll need to maybe just shave a wee bit off either side, maybe a mil just off either side up to the height. So it
All right,
just
yeah.
sits in nice and smooth. Then you can tighten it in.
Yeah. Because what I've done is, and he's gone.
Oh, he's back.
It's just internet up here, mate. The wind's playing havoc.
Well, what I've done is the bolt that is actually the bolt. I've got that bit facing the mortar, so
Yep.
I'm literally mortaring that in. So when it comes to it, the mortar will hold the bolt in place while I do the bolt up on this side.
Mm.
Can you see what I mean? And
Yeah.
then once I've backfilled, it's going to be gone completely. And the one thing I did find with the 3-inch ones is they've only got an ear either side, whereas the 4-inch ones have got an ear going that way. You know, so if I'd have used 4-inch ones, I would have had to bend these ones down so it run along the mortar bed that I put in. But they've been screwed in with rule plugs and stuff, and then I'm bricking in round them. So I honestly don't think it's going to go anywhere. And ultimately, I'm not putting a ceiling back in. I'm putting just clear plastic over the top. So it's not as if it's going to take a lot of weight either. So that was another factor in the 3x3 or 4x4. Just major difference in cost.
Oh yeah,
And
it's like the
crazy
factor with everything.
So
yesterday,
what have you been up to this week then, Ty?
Huh?
I said, what have you been up to this week?
Same thing I'm doing every week. Trying to finish this damn deck.
Yeah, my God, I thought you would have finished that by now.
Money's still what's keeping me from getting it done.
Yeah,
but
I know that
went
feeling.
to Lumberyard yesterday, and they had a 90% off pile.
Ooh.
So I took full advantage of that. I mean, there's a reason they were all in a pile and 90% off. A lot of those things, those boards look like freaking boomerangs, you know, just all But there are a couple in there. I was like, I can make most of this board work, so I don't care if it has a split in it. I'm gonna cut that part off anyways.
Well, it's either that or you just pin it one end and then you pry it round, you screw it, you pry it a bit more, and you screw it, and you just end up straightening it to where you want it anyway.
Yeah. Well, if it was for the actual decking, the boards that would go on top, I probably wouldn't care if they were bent a little bit. I'm sure I could manipulate them.
Yeah. You're talking about the actual beams, aren't you?
Mm-hmm. Yep. The I don't know the technical terms in deck building, but I have my joists that I have ran across the full length right now.
Yeah.
It's all the little boards that go in between to kind of brace the joists.
Yeah, the nuggets in between.
Yeah. I mean, the 16-inch or 14.5 inches is what all those end up getting cut to, just about.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured it doesn't matter if these boards are all messed up. I'm just going to need tiny little sections from them. So.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I'm all for that sort of shit. You know that if you can reuse it or make use of something, yeah, that's the way forward as far as I'm concerned. I was chatting with Susan, and because I'm doing 4-inch blocks on edge, I'm going to need to put a couple of pillars in. I've decided that instead of putting 4 inches of polystyrene in that gap, I'm actually gonna put some bricks in to fill that gap, and that way I can get a friend to come round, render the front nice and smooth, then I can paint it, job done, and then just put the insulation on the inside of the pond and do it and do it that way. But yeah, the bricklaying is in effect the next step of the pond build. The next step of the pond build is I've got to sell all the fish that are in the toe-side tank. One, to give me some funds for the pond build, because I'm going to need ball valves. I'm going to need tank connectors, and I even haven't even looked at the price that a fucking liner is going to cost me, because I'm not going for one of these cheap ones like I got this time. So, you know, and I know they say they're guaranteed for 20 years or so. Bullshit is all I can say. I used to have them, you know, and if you're putting them on a grown on system that you're going to have for a little while and you're going to fuck it off or whatever, they're great. You know,
Yeah.
if you're gonna dig a hole, put a liner in it, and then have loads of plants and just have wildlife, well, then they're perfect for that. But if you're going to use them for a pond, I personally now would recommend doing a double layer. So in effect, you line the pond and then you line it again. And that way you've got belt and braces on the liner itself, as opposed to longevity and stuff like that.
Mm.
Are you buying it as in already built, or are you just going to glue it yourself on strips?
Well, I'm still in two minds there, George, whether to just say fuck it, get a box rolled liner, or just get a bloody great big sheet of butyl liner, fold it, and then seal it so I've got no folds. Or do I work out the size of pieces that I'm going to need, including overlaps, and see if that works out cheaper than buying a whole piece of butyl and then piecing it together like Matt did from Koi Central.
Yeah, basically,
the only
just get it all pre-cut.
Yeah, the only difference and advantage I would have to what he had is the fact that he was trying to mold round an existing pond and the new pond, so he had some funny shapes, whereas with mine being rectangle, it's going to be a lot easier to work out the overlay flap and then a flap for the top. Can you see what I mean?
Yep.
I triple, or did I quadruple lined with 4-inch Kingspan? I don't know. You built it, Simon, not me. But yeah, that's the dilemma. But at the moment, the main factor is trying to work out all the bits and pieces that I am going to need, because it's always the little bits and pieces when you're halfway through the job, and then all of a sudden you realize you haven't got this or you haven't got that, and it's like, fuck, now I've got to wait again. So I'm trying to get all of that sorted out beforehand so that I know I've got things on hand. It's like I made up a mix of sand and cement today, just whole bag of sand, and that will do me. Well, I laid the first section, and I'm looking at this thing and I'm thinking I got too much mix there, so I ended up having to go to Wicks and get another load of bricks just so I can do the one mix to get as far as I can. So yeah, it's going to be a bit hit and miss like the on block. I mean, I have got a couple of friends keeping their eye out on that face arse to see if there's anything going on marketplace, brick or blockwise. Other than that, I'm just going to bite the bullet and buy the bricks, because I don't have to buy the blocks, because my dad's already said he wants to buy them for me. So that's not a worry. But then I've also got to look at, when it comes to, I'm going to need at least a ton of sand. I'm going to need at least half a ton of ballast for me footings for the walls, as well as cement, and that adds up. Oh, and while I'm at it, big thank you to Daniel, who gave me the super chat the other week of £100, even though I only saw £60.68 of that, because YouTube robbing bastards had taken the fucking rest. I have ordered my Euro crates for my shower for the new pond build. So as soon as they arrive, I will put it on video, and I will thank you again, because just blew me away. And yeah, we're not going to go down that road again, but thank you very much again. So yeah, they are on order. So yeah, we are one more step away. They're going to arrive, and then I'm going to cut the holy shit out of them by cutting all the bottoms out. But I found a company on eBay that does a pack of 10 Euro crates around the size that I want for 85 quid delivered.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Ching.
Just-
I had to add 20 quid to it, but I was like, yes, mate. Especially when you're looking at the size I want, they're averaging about 17 quid to £20 a piece.
Many you stacking high? 3, 4?
Well, I was originally hoping to have 3, but it's looking like I'm going to have 2 stacks of 4. 1 for each tempest.
Mm-hmm.
And then the bottoms are going to be cut out of every single one, because it's going to go through the tempest, over the shower, and it goes straight from the shower down into the active K1 chamber, which will then return it back to the pond by 2-3 inch pipes.
So where are you putting the other 2?
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure. Was
You
they
use them in
90?
your grower and the long block?
I have thought about that. Oh, I'm getting buzzed. Right, hang on. 2 seconds. I'll tell you something. Sorry. They're either 15 or 20 litre ones, because I want 2, one either side, and I've only got a little bit to play with. But yeah, they're either 15 or 20 litre ones. And literally all the media, all the ceramic media that is in my existing shower will go in there. And I bet you I'll still have space for more by the time I've done it.
You're going to have about 100 fish in that big pond.
Mate, with the, because I had a friend round yesterday, and I was explaining it all to him. And when he looked at my little round 80 litre bin that was full of K1, and then looked at the size that I'm going to create, and even he said, you can fit at least 6 or 7 times what I've got already in that chamber, as well as all the ceramic media and the tempests.
Yes. There'll be more koi coming to your Twisted house.
Huh?
There'll be more koi coming to your house now.
Mate. And that's, and this is, I like to see a range of sizes. Hang on a minute, 2 seconds. Done your giveaway yet, mate? No, I haven't, because I'm still sorting out a couple of things, but there will be a wire bonsai for overseas subscribers and viewers. I'm looking at a twisted coin mug for overseas viewers and so forth. And then I'm looking at a £50 voucher that you can spend with New Forest Koi Farm. There is going to be a koi involved as well. And I'm also putting in one of my bonsai pom-pom trees. So yeah, once I've got everything finalized, then I will let you do a shout out. And while I'm at it, Will's got an auction next Saturday. Go across, give him some support. He makes some fucking awesome wire trees. I'm telling you, I've got 3 in the house. I got the one that looks like the tree out of Karate Kid. Oh, Kung Fu Panda. He even made a little one for Susan. I've got a little one that's in long block. He actually sent a small one down to my mum, and then my mum commissioned him to do one all in silver, which is proudly placed in her front room. So yeah, honestly, guys, his work is awesome. The only thing, mate, have you used that static grass applicator yet? No, it won't be a trickle shower, not with the speed that I'm going to be pumping over it. How we doing, Silver, my friend? Great to see you on the channel. If you don't know Silver Creek Wildlife, go across and give them a subscribe. Another friend of mine from over the pond. Will, mate, do me a favour. Go and get it. Press the button like you was shaking it, and then hold the end, please. In fact, come and join us and do it on live. Give us a demonstration.
I
Right,
put up some great Sankey and that on Thursday on the website, mate. That one I showed sent you. I was like, holy hell, man.
Yeah. And
do you know what parent set that's off of?
Say again.
See his parent set for this Sankey, is that his own breed or is that his new parent stuff?
No, that Sankey that's from his normal Sankeys. Oh. I'm looking forward to the when we start selecting through the Dragon Ball Sankeys that he's done. Yeah.
So, George, I had a question.
There you go.
Also, I need to check out your channel. There's so many people I still am learning about and stuff I want to watch. But you said that you were fiberglassing this last week?
Yesterday.
Oh.
I get my friend, he came in and did it all for me. I just laboured.
Okay. So. Have your nose hairs started growing back yet?
No, we were fine. We're out in the open, so it's fine.
I know exactly what you're saying there, Joe. I know exactly what you're saying. Because
the fumes
I started making a mix earlier, and I sniffed, and I went, "Oh fuck!" Susan's gone, "What?" I said, "Time for grey bogies," and she was like, "What are you on about?" And I'm like, "Cement powder, where it's so fine, you get crusty bogies that are hot. Yeah, that's grey." And she's like, covered her face up. "I'm staying like this," she said. But yeah, I know exactly what you're saying there, Ty. Sorry.
Oh, what a sore head last night, with the fumes.
Fiberglass and fumes.
Yeah. And we were out in the open, so it was well aerated, but no. Wow.
Yeah, it's powerful stuff. I was smelling polyester resin for like 2 weeks. Like I'd be at work and I could still smell it.
Yeah. I could swear I could smell it in the house yesterday.
Oh.
Oh yeah, it permeates everything. But it doesn't fucking awesome.
Coating, I had a neighbor call me concerned.
I built my pond the same way Vince is doing his. Laid the 4-inch block on edge. So it mine is belts, braces. Every corner's got corner ties. Every side's got wall ties. Metal bar plate up every level. So it's not going anywhere. Well, it's fiberglass. That just becomes a frame. The fiberglass takes all the pressure and all the weight.
Yeah. And I mean,
in hindsight, I think I way over-engineered my pond.
I've done that, but I'd rather do that than it fall apart on me.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, my dad's always telling me I'm over-engineering shit. But
Vince is always telling me that too.
Yeah. Well, my dad's old school, and he'll still say, "No, belt and braces, boy, belt and braces."
I pressed the wrong button.
My grandfather was an engineer,
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was just ingrained into me by my dad, probably because of my grandpa, that you got to build things the right way.
Yeah.
Whatever
Yeah,
that means.
yeah. His favourite quote was, "If a job's worth doing, it's worth doing well."
Yeah. My grandpa's thing I think he's most famous for saying is home ownership is terminal.
Mm-hmm.
Feel the same way about ponds. Pond
I was just
ownership.
about to say, koi ponds are terminal, because once you start,
Man, there's no stopping.
yeah, there is that, Simon. But if you don't intend to fucking move, I mean, the only way you'll get me out of this house is in a pine box, or if I win the fucking lottery. And I don't do the lottery, so that's never going to happen, is it? So, and the other thing is, I don't know exactly what depth I'm going to finish at yet, because not only have I got a major hole to fill, but I want to put a patio over the top of it. So, yeah, it might end up about 5.5 foot deep.
Nice.
Honestly, guys, if you saw the hole that is underneath that woodwork that I call the floor, mate, you'd shake your head.
You need to do some perception. You need to stand in it and take a picture.
I mean, when you actually look at the footings, the base of the footings are about 1.5 foot wide. And then they do that. And then they've got a 4-inch by 2-inch rail.
Yep.
Wicked for making sure that you can keep fucking bricks in line as well. You should just run a bit of wood across and tap it to that. Hey, job done. Think smarter, not harder. Hey, up here
Hey, Christine.
dancing. Hey, Christine's in. Well, I'll chuck a
Hey,
link.
Christine, why don't you want to come
Christine.
join us?
Just chucked a link in the comments if you want to come and join us. But yeah, bricklaying is not my forte, but it is and has got a lot better since I built the Toastai tank. Those who are long-term viewers of my channel will know exactly what I'm saying about the brickwork on my Toastai tank. Honestly, Ty, if you haven't watched them ones, go back a year or two and find when I started building the Toastai tank. Now, that pond, the bricks.
Yeah, I want to check that out.
The bricks and the blocks that I use, everything on that pond, including the bricks and that I use building long block, were all recycled.
That's awesome.
Right. But one wall, not only did it wander that way, but it also wandered that way at the same time.
Oh boy.
let's just say Stuart, the gentleman who done the fiberglassing for me, yeah, I'd managed to level some of it out because of where it was. It kept getting so wet. I had to get some tanking solution, which is like liquid cement, and you paint it on. It's a bastard to put on, you know. And I managed to level the walls out slightly with that. But when he's putting the fiberglass on, he fucking laughed an ass off all day at the state of my brickwork and my blockwork, because it was all over the place. How we doing, Simon? How was the show? Did you buy any goodies other than food?
I watched Aaron's for Humber Coy video this morning, or this afternoon before it came on, and it looked
I was
pretty well packed. It looked busy.
Good. That's what it needs. It needs a lot of footfall. The more footfall you can get, then the better the word's going to spread. And then next year it'll improve again. You know.
And he caught old Tony leaving with a cardboard box.
Oh, Tony up North Koi, Far More Koi.
Far more.
Yeah. I know what he wants the pure white for. Ready for his show. Going for it. Good lad, Simon. Bring the rosettes home. Go on. Hey, if I could be a koi show champion, so can you. And that's not me being, what's the word, patronizing. That's just fact. And if you've got it in your head that you want to give it a go for it. Go for it, because it really did open my eyes to a whole different aspect to the koi hobby. Completely different aspect. The biggest and the hardest thing for me was not feeding my koi for a week. That was hard, especially at the time of year when they're wanting to fill up on that food, and you're going, no, you can't have none, and all that is coming up to the side going, feed me, and you're like, can't, I want to, but I can't. So yeah, I can understand why the Japanese hold their koi shows when they do. One, if they're going through the winter like they are in Japan, they're not going to be eating a great deal anyway, you know, and everyone knows when winter comes and the temperatures start to drop, that's when the colours repair, build back up and everything else, you know. And you'll find, unless you're got issues coming into spring, you'll find a lot of your koi will look their best coming into spring, because if they've had the right sort of winter and they've used up their fat reserves and everything to rebuild the color that's been stretched and everything else, that's when they're looking at their best. Well, I just think Japan holds their koi shows in January, February. And I mean, Atsumi, bless him, he's on everyone's videos saying, why are you having koi shows right in the middle of the season where all the fish want is food?
I figured they did it in the winter because they didn't have a whole lot else going on.
You think you get a really good shiro, temperatures go up to 26 or more, 9 times out of 10 the sumi will drop back slightly. It goes from a jet black to like a grey black. It's weird to describe, but once them temperatures come back down and you've had a period of time at that temperature, you then look at the sumi on your shiros, and you'll find your sumi will be a lot darker and a lot more, what's the word I'm looking for, full, lustrous. See what I mean?
Lustrous.
There's more depth to it.
Yeah, at colder temperatures. You know.
How does Benny tend to behave in colder temperatures?
Well,
you know,
with things like Benny, is when the koi grows and it stretches that pigment doesn't shrink back over winter. What happens is they use their color food and the still reserves they've got, and what happens is that color fills in. Can you see what I mean? So come towards the end of the winter, coming into spring, your Benny should be looking really good, because they've had that chance to fill in and thicken up. Because if you're feeding your koi right through the summer, all you're doing is you're stretching that pigment with the growth. So how else is it going to look any good other than being given a time over winter to thicken up and deepen up? Can you see what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, which is why I do say that a koi pond does need a winter. Even if that winter's kept only at 8 degrees all the way through, it's still a big change from a summer temperature. And that big change is what kicks into the koi's genetics that says, right, now it's time to do this. And I've noticed it over the last couple of years, especially with how voracious I've been feeding over the last couple of years, coming out of the summer and into the autumn, and then coming sort of like January, February time, I'm noticing a difference in all my koi, not just in a little bit more length, but a little bit more body depth, you know, and everything else. And they do that through the winter. They don't do a lot of it, but they do have a bit of growth still through the winter. Now, if they're down at -1, they're not going to do any of that because the body's has shut down in that respect. Can you see what I mean? So if you can keep it at a stable 8 or 12 degrees all the way through the winter, you're going to give them that change in temperature. But they're not going to get the fluctuations from 8 to 2, 2 to -1, -1 to 4, you know, like we do get through our winters. So
I've noticed that with my daughter's shorts and my dad's pond, the Benny just stretching over the shoulders, but right in the centre, it is as red as red. But it's just stretching because it's feeding, and I think they're on about 6 feeds a day at the moment. It's went from 20 cm to 30 cm.
And you'll also find a lot of Benny at the height of temperatures, sort of like 26, 28 and above. As they get higher, again, Benny will look paler. It doesn't lose its depth, but it does lose its shine in some respects. It's not until the temperatures start coming back down to a level pond, then you'll find it evens back out again. But yeah, color pigments on different varieties and how it reacts is mind-blowing, absolutely mind-blowing. Mate, Mark, I am so looking forward to VTuber Fest. That's for sure. It's gonna be.
Seeing all the videos.
Oh, mate.
Just knowing what. On a Saturday or Sunday?
It's Saturday. So not next Saturday, Saturday after.
Okay. And 2 weeks.
It's about a 7.5 hour drive for me if I was to go.
Well, you're going to have to come next year. Without a shadow.
At least let me know in plenty of time, then I can book a hotel or something.
If it goes the way both myself and the lesser spot Ricardo hope, then it's going to get bigger next year. Oh yeah. And it rankles me a little bit that someone else has tried jumping onto some bandwagon, but we won't go there. We won't go there because I originally started it. Both myself and Susan originally started it 3 years ago, and we thought it was a way to bring YouTubers and subscribers together in a setting where they could just be themselves, talk fish, you know, and everything else. And the first year went absolutely brilliantly, and we did it again last year. And the only thing that ruined it was the goddamn weather, because it was blowing an absolute gale in front. I mean, I'd screwed tarpaulins to the fence, and even they were getting blown into people sat there. It was a nightmare. But yeah, this year is year 3, and it's being held at New Forest Koi Farm, invite only. So yeah.
Do you look at holding it at the same time of year?
Well, we did it earlier last year. I think we did it before the National last year. But this year, my focus was on the Koi show. to start with.
Yeah.
And then once the koi show was over, it took me a week or so to come down out of the clouds. And I won't lie, yeah, it, you know, put a bounce in my, it still puts a bounce in my step now. Every time I think about that day, it just, yeah. But up until that day, the focus was on the fish and the show. And now my focus is on the fish, the farm, build. You know, at the moment, I'm juggling about 4 different pies. And so far, so good. It's doing well. But
Then once
we are
this is
gonna,
over, you've got the show next year. So you have
yes,
the circle again.
mate, I just, my main hope at the moment is not that my fish are in condition to be able to show them, is whether they are in a pond that I can take them out of and to then take them to a show. I
Can
mean,
you not take them out? Once you and Rocket Boy have got your pond emptied at the farm, could you not put them in there?
no, can't do it. Even when Rick has fish from Crafty, they have an area they go to and nowhere else, and they will stay there for
Uh-oh. George,
Can't
can you
hear
hear
you.
Vince?
No, I can't hear
Oh,
Vince.
yeah.
You can't hear me?
I
I can hear you now.
can hear you now.
You disappeared when you said crafty.
Oh, right. Yeah, well, even the fish he's had from Crafty, they've gone into their own pond, and that's where they'll stay for at least a year. At least a year before they
Right.
even think about moving them somewhere else. You know, and I'm hoping that the Kitsuri that Rick got from Crafty is actually female, because if it is, I'm looking at donating my male Kitsuri to the farm. Yeah. So
how many of the hornets has he got in the farm? Or was it just that wee bundle he had?
mate, those fish are something else. And believe it or not, they came from a Kinshower cross a Kinshower. Not a sign of yellow in sight. But we've ended up with, yeah, just
Because the yellow is
metallic
yellow. It's not even just a light yellow coming up. But
I mean, I've got 2 in the grown on tank, and as soon as you turn the air off, they pop straight away. Yeah, they are going to be
like
something.
you just told me bred 2 labs and got a German Shepherd or something.
You what?
Are we talking about Kitsuri's?
Kinkits.
Oh, wait, okay. I think I was misunderstanding what we were talking about. Never mind.
your volume's away again, Vince. Can't hear you talking.
Uh-oh.
So when are you hope to get your decking finished, Ty?
Before winter would be nice. We'll see. Did my vision just go bad?
Right. Is that better?
That's better.
Yeah. There we go.
Why can't I hear you on this phone?
You turn the volume on.
Is your volume up?
I'm just checking that.
Oh, hey, Aaron. Just watching you guys at the Koi show.
Afternoon, Aaron. My daughter's the same as your boy. Loves collecting all the freebies.
Can you hear me?
In his face. Yes.
No.
And he's away. What did you get up to this week, pond-wise?
Yeah, I've been doing a lot with the pond, other than just feeding them, feeding the fish. Today's the first day the temperature isn't going to get up out of the 70s, which is crazy. Because it was just over 100 last week.
Right, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we heard you before as well. You can see his brain going at 10 to the dozen. Well,
he's better than me and all this. I'm shitting it for Saturday, you know.
I'm looking forward to your auction next week, mate. Just sit and watch.
Yeah, next
sitting back.
it should be. I've got some belters, mate. You know, hi.
What is it? 7
How's it
o'clock.
going, Will?
Yeah, 7 p.m. on YouTube channel, on my channel. That's all I'm doing. I'm not doing all this streaming. I swear I can't do all that. Just I'm just going to do it.
Hey, finally!
Fucking
We heard you the
royal
first twice as well.
How are we doing, Will?
Yeah, good, mate. Good. Thanks for the plug. Just saying to George there, so I can't. I'm just going to do me. I can't use all this StreamYard and all this freaking technical. I'm just going to do it the way I do it, and the missus is going to help me. But yeah, just look at that little one. Nice little one.
Nice.
That's sweet.
Doing a few. But all them. They're all leaves, so I'm waiting for wire now from Amazon to make my last tree. So got some lovely trees, some belted trees. But yeah, they'll all be revealed next Saturday. And then hi Ty.
What's up, Will?
Is he a Yank?
No. It's
Wait,
French.
What gave you that idea?
Yes, lad. Do I tell you the truth?
You fucking head up.
So, what's the saying? Okay.
The show.
Yeah.
Your
So
auction.
my auction night. So yeah. So out of me own thing, you know, I'm doing one of me trees. I think it's going to be my autumn tree. You've seen my autumn tree, haven't you? And that's the proceeds of that I'm donating to me hospital what treated me, but not directly to the hospital, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to make up. I'm not the missus. She's going to make up care packages. I got given a care package when I was in, and it proper, honest to God, it just went. Me mood just went wow, straight up. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna. Well, she's gonna put them together this week. We're going to buy one, and then I'll show it on Saturday night at the care packages. What's in it? It's stuff that you think that you wouldn't think that you need. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you do.
Yeah.
So so we're gonna get that done, and I spoke to the me ward, no, not my ward, the ward that I was on. But yeah, brilliant. Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do, and been gifted Some lovely artwork from Martin Devon Koi Pond. Absolutely stunning. So yeah, that'll be up on the auction as well. But it is my auction. Get your wallets out.
You go for it, boy.
You
I
know
mean,
what I
I've
mean?
got to do the same. I am going to have to, I think, do a little auction, and people are going to have to come to me if they win. But yeah, I think it's the only way I'm going to be able to raise some funds and get fish moved ready for the pond build, because I've got the IBC and the Toaside tank. If I can move my smaller and medium fish into those two systems, then it's going to be less strain on both the bigger fish and the pool that will have to go out in the front garden, so that I've got everything still on site before I start me build. Because the plan is I'm just going to, the two easy pods that are coming out of that system, I will just put them in the front garden, run them pump fed. So I've got the two mature easy pods running the pool outside, which should tick them over quite nicely. But yeah, again, it's all money dependent, isn't it? So, but yeah, the plan is to do a little auction. And if anyone out there is, how are we doing, Chris? Not seen you for a while. Yeah, so if anyone out there is interested and thinks it's a good idea, then drop it down in the comments and I'll take it on board. But I think personally, that is the only way I'm going to be able to move on a good chunk of fish, as well as make a little bit of money to put towards pipe fittings. I'm going to need at least a 3 meter length of 4-inch waste pipe for the bottom drain. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to practice what I preach. I'm going to show you guys out there that you don't have to have a bottom drain to run a bottom drain fed gravity system.
I haven't got a bottom drain. I've got a retro drain. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
but you're pump fed, aren't you?
yeah.
Okay.
Not me personally, but me fucking.
Vince, I
Yeah.
think I heard you wrong. Did you say you're going to show us how to run a bottom drain without needing a bottom drain?
Yeah,
All right.
because
No,
all I'm going to
fucking
use
need them,
is I'm
man.
going to get a 4-inch Tommy drain, a 4-inch knuckle 90, job done.
All right.
So when you put in a 4-inch bottom drain, you've got a bloody great round sump, haven't you?
Yeah.
That's a good 6 inches deep. Now, if you've only got a slow flow going through your pond because that's all it needs, you will, without a shadow of a doubt, end up with a build-up of shit in that sump. Without a shadow of a doubt. It's been proven. Yeah. So, you want a bottom drain because you want a dome on it. Yeah. So, you go and buy yourself a 4-inch Tommy drain. And it's basically a 4-inch tank connector with a dome on it that is preset to sit above the whatever it's connected to. So no fish are going to get under it anyway. And then literally it comes straight out. So what I will do is I will cut a chunk off the bottom of the tank connector, and then the 4-inch knuckle 90 that I'm putting in the socket, I will cut that down by half, and then I will glue that into there. Then any shit that goes into that bottom drain will go straight down that pipework to the filter. There's nowhere, anywhere for any crap to build up because it's going straight to the filter.
Hasn't someone else just done? Oh, fuck it, what have I done?
Yeah, carry on, I can hear you.
Hasn't someone else just done one like that?
Mm-hmm. I wonder who gave Gavin that idea, Will.
Oh, was it Gav? Yeah, no, it's yeah. would
Yeah.
have. It would have, wouldn't it? I can't
It's
see the
just
comment.
in the comments exactly what I've done with my grow-on bins.
You see?
Because
I
we've
can't see.
chatted about it.
Can you see the
We've chatted
comments?
about it at length.
You're a good lad, Gav. The
Chris
fucking
Lester,
pavement.
can you tell me more about the potassium permanganate? Well, what do you want to know other than if not used in the correct way is fucking deadly?
Yeah, I read that wrong the first time. I thought you said potassium propaganda.
My God, Ty. So you need to set your alarm clock an hour before the show, man. I'm telling you, because it's waking up and coming straight on. It's like, you blow my mind, man.
Yeah.
It's a bit
I
more
love you a bit.
Hey, you know, I'm not like the full that PP. It is scary. Hang on, let me get this right. There's more of a thing behind it, in there about you know what I mean. There's more, too many people try and scaremonger you over it.
Yeah, there's too
You
much
know
of a
what I mean?
stigma.
Yeah. Oh my God! I swear to God, I was like, when I first done my first PP, I was ricking it. I was.
I remember.
I was like, what the fuck? But yeah, but
I remember.
yeah, and now I'm more a fucking PP expert now. Fucking hell,
Yeah,
labels.
you know, as long as you've got everything in place, whether it be a bottle with sodium thiosulfate in it or hydrogen peroxide, as long as you've got everything in place and you know exactly, or a little bit either side marginally, how much water you have in your pond, including your filter systems,
Yeah, yeah,
you
that's what I.
you shouldn't go wrong.
Yeah, that's
You
what
know,
I.
and it also comes down to the measure twice, cut once. Measure your stuff out. If it looks too much, check it. Think it looks right then. But always, 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 if there's instructions on the packet and it's your first time ever using it, follow those instructions to
Yeah,
the letter. To the letter. Yeah. And the reason I say that is I had to treat my Toso tank yesterday with PP for trick. Now, I did not. What's the word when you? I didn't counteract the PP with hydrogen peroxide. I let it run until it went brown and clear
right.
itself. But at the same time, the dosage I put into that tank would make a lot of people's toes curl. But I know that tank. I know my systems. I know how much I can put PP in because I know which ones have got what bio load in them. And that's the other thing as well. If you're going to treat with PP, you give your whole filter system, a thorough clean. And the reason for
Beforehand.
that is because you need to lower the bio load in the pond as well as the filter system. You want any organics out. So there's no point if you haven't done your filter clean and you chuck PP in, and you'll probably find within 20 minutes or so, you'll find it'll go brown and you go, oh, fuck, hasn't worked. That's because you've got a high organic load in your pond. So, always think about things. PP's an oxidizer. So, in that, you want to make sure there's as little stuff in there other than the fish and the water that it can oxidize against. Because if it's oxidizing crap in your filter, it's not doing the job properly trying to attack parasites on your fish. Can you see what I mean? It's not like the Vercon thing. You know, how can it differentiate between good and bad bacteria? It can't. Can you see what I mean? So
Yeah, it just wipes everything out. That's the point.
yeah. So you know,
Can you get that over there, Ty? Can you? PP.
You can get it, but you're gonna have it's not gonna come in like a packaged koi product.
you still get it in a granular form.
Yes.
We're on about PP here, aren't we?
I've never used PP personally. Haven't had an occasion yet where I've gone, oh shit, I've got some problems I need to get sorted out. So, you know, we'll hopefully it stays that way.
Yeah.
For now. It's not if something will ever need to be addressed. I think it's just when. So.
All right, I shall answer this one. I've seen James the Koi Whisperer using it after buying a new fish. Is this always a good thing? Well, there's a lot of aspects to this one. One, if you've got a quarantine grown on system or somewhere you can put the koi for a few weeks, there's no need to PP it. Also, if you're getting your fish from a dealer or someone you've got fish from on a regular basis, why do you need to PP it before it goes into your pond? You should have faith in your dealer. Now, that being said, I do advise when people have fish from me, I do advise them that if they haven't got a growing on tank or a QT tank, to either give them a salt bath or a PP bath before they put into the pond. And that's not because I've got anything in my pond, but the koi might have something, and the stress of being netted up and bowled up and then bagged and then travelled and then put into another body of water that is of a completely different makeup can kick things off, whether it's the fact that a new fish has been added to an existing pond, which upsets the equilibrium, which then stresses the pond out, which then stresses the fish out that's already highly stressed after being caught, bagged and moved, and then the rest of the fish will catch, or vice versa. You know, the pond that the new fish is going into might have a couple of flukes, but the pond itself is used to it, so it doesn't affect it. But this new fish, which has come from, in effect, a clean, sterile environment because it's come from koi vat from a koi shop that is thoroughly cleaned, all that malarkey. But that makeup is going to be different. So the stress can actually bring out steer flukes and so forth and so on. They might even have it on them already, but not showing any signs because they are in such a low concentration, so it doesn't bother the fish. But there is a lot of people out there that do salt bath or PP dip their fish. Now, whenever I bring home fish from the New Forest, they go straight into my systems because I know exactly where they've come from. I know how they act in each system, so if something goes on in that system, I know exactly when I need to do something. You know, I knew my saggies weren't looking too good in the toe side tank because they were all sitting like that. I pulled one out, give it a scrape, and it was covered in tricks. So I banged the PP in.
PP doesn't cover everything, does it?
You cannot kill flukes with a PP dip, which is basically what you're doing. If you're getting a new fish and then putting it in a bath of PP, you're not having a high concentration of PP. And most PP baths, people use is it the NT Labs that he uses that's already pre-made?
Mm-hmm.
it's already been made, so it's set at a lower dosage anyway. But if there is the odd trick or something, there is the possibility that that PP dip will knock it on the edge. That's like then lessening the chance of that stress factor. Can you see what I mean?
So,
Mm.
Vince, did you say PP won't take out flukes?
It will, but not in a basic 5-minute PP bar.
You got to treat the whole pond.
To treat the pond for flukes with PP, you need a seriously high dosage of PP for a prolonged period of, one dose one day, you do another dose the second day, you do a third dose the third day, and then some do another dose on the next day. That in itself is a lot of fucking stress to put the fish through just to try and kill flukes, when you could do PP treatment, which will strip the mucus back, and then once you clean the filters after the PP treatment, you then put fluke treatment in. You've then got more chance of the flukes being eradicated that way than you have from putting them in a 5-minute PP dip. Am I making sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly that. You are 100% right there, Simon. But we're not going to go there, even though I've had digs left, right, and centre. But hey, I'm like a broad shoulders. Take it.
I got a Shiro, Do you see me, Shiro?
Hey.
You got a new Shiro?
Yeah, man. Made up, wasn't? I gifted Elite Koi a tree for his auction yesterday. That he did yesterday, and he let me pick a Shiro. I'm like, get it, lad. Yeah, so I got a moon, fucking a cow now. It's lovely,
There are so many different treatments, Chris. Sorry, mate. Why is there so many different treatments? There is so many different treatments because certain things that work for my pond may not work for your pond, which is why I'll say it before and I'll say it again. Every pond and every pond keeper is different. Now, I found trick. I reach straight for the PP. Someone else will go for the malachite and formalin. Yeah. Now, if it was costlier, the first thing I would grab is the formalin on its own.
I'm curious. Do you guys ever use praziquantel?
Yeah, that's fluke P.
Oh, okay.
That's in Fluke Solve Plus, in it or something.
That's in
No, it's in fluke P. Yeah, that's in fluke P. There's two main ingredients. You can either get praziquantel. What's the other one? There's two. If Rick was
Isn't
here,
it arsenal?
No, it's gone. But yeah, there is two main ingredients. One's got one and one's got the other.
Yeah. Isn't it something beginning with R? Oh, fucking, I can't remember what
Lover of the...
Go ahead, I'm getting off, lad.
All right, bro. Don't forget, he's got an auction on the 31st. Go over, give him some support, give him some love, call him an egghead, because we love him.
What's the name of your channel?
What do you think?
Is it Will?
Will's Toy and Wire Trees.
Yeah, man.
Ah, okay.
I'll send you a link, Ty.
Next one, Ty.
Oh, that'd be great. Thank you. All right, good to meet you, Will.
Yeah, bud.
And you, lad. See you later, George.
See you, Will.
See you later, boy.
Bye-bye.
So yeah, going back to Chris, Fluke P, Fluke M, they all do the same job, but each one has got different ingredients And because each one's got different ingredients, they have different reaction times and different measurements. It can be mind blowing, but my go-to is usually PP treatment. After the PP treatment is done, I give the filter system another bloody good clean, top it up, and then I go in with the flip treatment. And touch wood, so far it's worked 9 times out of 10 for me. But yeah,
Well,
different people.
Vince, I'm gonna follow Will's lead. I got to head, but good to see you guys. George, it's good to meet
No
you.
worries,
You too, mate.
no worries, Steve.
All right,
I'll send
see
you a
guys
link
later.
for Will's channel.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Bye.
Cheers, Ty.
See you later, Ty.
Yeah, koi treatments it can be an absolute fucking minefield,
Is it
especially
Prazic
when you've
Gold? That's
got
the one Rick talks about all the time, isn't it?
flubenzyl. Flubenzyl is the other one. So you've got praziquantel and flubenzyl. They are your two main ingredients. Yeah, but like I say, I treat for Costia with formalin. Most people would grab the malachite green and formalin. Whereas you don't really need the malachite green because you could get away with it with just formalin or formaldehyde because they're both really the same thing, just slightly different makeup and a different word. But yeah, other than that, anyone else got any questions out there for us? Or if they want to join us for 5-10 minutes before we sail away into the distance and I get back on my hands and knees laying bricks.
So when are you looking at taking out the top half of the wall with the window in that is?
Of the porch.
Yeah.
That will be as soon as I can afford to get the wooden
Of course.
uprights and the crossbeam in.
Mhm.
And once I've got that all fitted in place and it's solid, then I will take the front off. But I've got to be very careful with taking the front off because of that wall, which is bulging from the inside as well.
You said that in your last video, it's part of your tank. So.
Yeah, that section underneath the window, that has now got a bit of a bulge to it. And the roof, the actual beams across the front have dropped in the middle slightly. I've got a little bit of a sag in the middle on the fucking, yeah, so yeah. How's my new filter system gonna run? Well, I've been kindly given an old Filtro drum that was used down at New Forest, and the guys have let me have that for my new pond build. Before I get it, it will be going to Matt Howe from Howie Goy because he's a Filtro drum dealer and he has said that he will recondition it and get it working for me. So the skimmer and the bottom drain will go into the drum, and then from the drum it will go to my 2 pumps, which will then pump up through the 2 tempists, and then they'll go from the tempists down through a shower into an active K1 chamber that will return back to the pond by gravity through 2 3-inch pipes coming through the wall. Main emphasis is on as much bio as I can fit in. And do I rate these pond bombs for bacteria? No, I don't rate the pond balls either. In fact, if I stripped out my easy pods, you'd probably find an odd 1 or 2 in there that just haven't disappeared. Why? I don't believe in them. All this lactobacteria and everything else. If your filter system is running properly, Why do you need to add bacteria to it? Now, point in question. My pond is crystal clear. I haven't had my UV, which is only 13 watts, by the way. I haven't had that UV running for about 11 months now. Not a green tinge on the water. Why? Because my filter system's doing its job. Why do I need to add bacteria to it? Do you use EA gels and pond bombs, George?
Not yet, no, but I was thinking about using the gel just as a startup, just to get started. Because I would not have anything in it. I would only have one, two fish in it to start with, so just to help move it along.
You could fishless cycle it with ammonia and do it that way. But I still say the best way for getting your filters running is fish. Fish. And yet it doesn't matter who you are, it's going to have new pond syndrome. You know, this is why I want to try and get my pond built and running as soon as I can possibly do it. Because I know the pond itself is going to have to go through that new pond syndrome start, even though the media will be semi-alive still, because I'll be taking the media out of the easy pods that will be running the pool. So I will have a bit of a start up there. But the pond itself will take at least a year to fully settle down into that living ecosystem that a pond is. You know, every pond has that ecosystem going on in their pond walls. Ashton Bainham, what's your thoughts on sturgeon? Sturgeon, I love them. I think they're absolutely beautiful animals. I just don't like them in a koi pond. And the main reason I don't like them in a koi pond is when it comes to treatments. Because a lot of the treatments that we use for koi ponds will end up killing a sturgeon. And not only that, sturgeon, they have to have a high protein diet, a constant high protein diet, right down to temperatures of -2. So you've got a sturgeon.
A video a couple of months back with somebody saying they had sturgeon and they were cutting it to start to eat the koi food and they were damaging the koi because of the spikes and the spines on them.
Yep. I mean, I think I've told it a few times, but me and Susan, we went to a place in Gloucester to buy a Parachina, and when we got there, he showed us this building with this huge pond in, netted up the Parachinas, put them in the bowl, pick which one. I said, I love your pond, mate. It's fucking beautiful. He went, this ain't my pond. Me and Susan looked at him as if to say, you what? Because this thing was huge and it was full of fish. And he went, no, my main pond's outside. And it was like a big comma with a window on the front. It was beautiful. And he said, watch this. And he chucked in a handful of koi food. The koi come up, and this fucking great sturgeon come up, knocked them all out of the way, and he put his hands in its mouth, lifted it up, and chucked it down the other end of the pond. This thing spun around about 3 times, and then come back to have it done again. And it was the only. It treats it like a game now, or it did when, I don't know if it's alive now, but yeah, it used to treat it as. And he said sometimes it's the only way I can get the koi to have peace while they're eating. How you doing, you northern monkey?
Ooh,
All
one
right,
minute.
mate.
Can't hear you. One sec.
My pal's got a
Yeah.
platinum mug on. And see the way
Say
you were
again?
talking about the sturgeon?
Yeah.
Comes up, gets it fed, and she wants to clap like a dog. And he just flings her away. And you can see her tail walking to come back and get it again. Head at the water like that. Just wanting it done again. He's like, until I seen him do it, you wouldn't believe it until you actually see it. It's crazy.
But again, like he said to us, if ever he has to treat the pond, that sturgeon comes out and goes into the upper system,
How are we doing?
or it goes in. How we doing, Aaron? You didn't fall off the roof then?
Good.
No, I lost a couple of tiles in this wind, so I put them on, and I bought some capping that goes over the edge of the tiles and fitted that, obviously, in wind.
I need a hero, Aaron. I need a hero to the end of the.
Yeah, so I was busy on there. I got your message. Do you want to come on? And I was like, do I get my garage and my filter shed back waterproof, or do I hop on Vince's life?
Did you go to the show today?
I went yesterday, mate. Me and Leo had a mosey round yesterday. Picked up a few bits that I needed, a new test kit and a few other bits and bobs. I was just heard you talking about them pond bomb ball things about you finding in your filter ages. Well, ours have just brought a new one out that you hang in your filter in a bag so you don't lose them forever. And apparently they do decompose. They've given me one to test. We will see in a month if they're still in the bag or not, because they are suspended in a. It's going to be hard for me to show you because I'm literally just king spanning my my filter house wall, so everything's
Nice.
filter.
Well,
Yeah.
my next question is: it's dry there. You're not on the roof. Why the fuck you not at Grandpa's doing his blocks?
Because I did more blocks work at Grandpa's house last week, and he's run out of blocks, and he only got back off holiday on Friday, and I was like, I didn't have the money before payday on Tuesday just to order. He'd have paid me back, but to order him a pallet of blocks.
Yeah.
So I didn't come. So I had to wait. Hopefully, I'm on day off on Wednesday, so hopefully, with it being bank holiday, you can order them Tuesday and get them on Wednesday. If not, it's a wasted day.
Yeah.
Which is annoying, really, because that's not what you need, really, is it? I've got Leo off as well, so he can barrow cement and sand and stuff.
Sweet. So no new additions to the pond then?
No, mate, not yet. I did. I lost my Pericina this week. I was a bit gutted about, but Leo got me a Nicky for Christmas, mind. We took it to Nick's work, opened it up, absolutely full front to back of eggs that are going off inside it.
Oh mate.
So, well, I mean, it was one of them.
I'm hoping.
It was really big, really bulging, and it's not been right since the others spawned. Luckily, I live in a house where I can ring her up at work and say I'd like this looking at, and they have two exotic vets there that open it and said it's not connected to the vent, the pipe. It would have, no matter what you'd have done, it was untreatable. So put me at rest knowing that I've not got something at risk in my pond where I'm going to start fish keeling over left, right, and centre. I knew that it was a genetic fault from the start, but that was what I would consider my first expensive fish in the pond. So and a Christmas present at that. So I was a bit livid about that.
It is a gutter when you lose such a nice fish. I've had it before. I mean,
Yeah, it was growing good as well. That's the annoying thing. I'd put some right size on it this year.
exactly how I felt with the snow saggy, mate.
Yeah,
Give him one. And the sorghoi. I mean, Jesus Christ, one hit after another. But I'm hoping that what's happened with your Parachina isn't what's going on with my Shiro.
Are you going to strip her, Vince? Or are you just going to let her?
Well, there's nothing I can do at the moment. I was hoping that, you know, at some point I was going to be able to spawn her, but it's just not going to happen this year. So if she goes through the winter okay, then I will consider putting her with a male. But myself and Rick have chatted about this quite a bit. We're not 100% certain that she hasn't damaged herself when she you noisy twat.
sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not. He wouldn't be surprised if she hasn't damaged herself when she done a second Free Willy impression. Spent a good couple of hours bouncing about on the concrete floor before Susan found her. So yeah,
But
it's
should
one
be
of
fine.
those. But she's swimming about all right. She's eating all right. So one time she's swimming, eating, and looking healthy, then she'll stay there. But I think there is a good possibility that she is carrying something else other than just eggs. That's for sure. So Chris Budget Ponky for his afternoon, just back from Newark. How was the show, Chris? How did you find it?
And the show looked packed when you were in your wee clip there.
It was really busy when we got there in the morning. 1 second. The dustpan. It's underneath that table there, look.
So you went to Newark last year, yes?
Yes, I went to Newark last year.
So how was it this year in comparison to last year?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, there seemed to be a lot of dealers really trying to compete and lower the prices with other dealers. A dealer that I'd never heard of before as well was really throwing some bargains out there. Tell you what, run inside the house. He's got a business card on my desk because I can't remember how to pronounce that. Give us a sec.
All right, mate. Yeah, so Chris,
So
how was it and how's your pond? I mean, we haven't seen any videos lately. Have you stopped to YouTube? And that's Chris Budget Pondkeeper I'm talking to. So you're hoping to have water in by Wednesday then?
I wish. I still got the captains and this side here. It's all got to be shed's got to be finished that side before we put any water in there at all. Yeah. Then get the window ordered. So
Oh, mate, you've not even got that ordered yet. I thought you had all that sat there waiting. So as soon as the fiberglass was done.
I've got a quote for the window, but I just want to double check the size once it's been fiberglassed and top coated. So
You can get the measurements now because he's been fiberglassed.
but I still want to make sure it's right when he puts the top coat on. But he's putting a thicker top coat on. So
Aaron's disappeared.
belts and braces.
Belts and braces, yes. Yes, definitely. There he is, he's back.
I can't find the card. It's on my video. I wonder if it's on the sticker, this bottle. No,
Is that one where
something like Mujimono or something like that.
Oh yeah, Mujimono.
That's what
Yeah,
you're
he's a
talking
good lad. He was there last year.
My God, everything. He just said, we're the cheapest at the show today. I was like, all right, nice one. And I went round and I had a look round for a few bits. I wanted some Bacto Plus to put in that filter I'd just done at the pub.
Yeah.
I'd left it a week without cleaning it. I wanted to clean it, put some Bacto Plus in it, leave it off for a bit, do that. And
You talking about the Bacto Plus clay?
no, the PSB.
Yeah.
So I wanted some of that. I wanted the test kit and a few other bits and bobs, and they were like £5 cheaper an item. When a few of them are like £2 here, £2 there, and on some of the bigger items there was quite a bit more cheaper if you wanted like UVs and stuff like that. But I was, well, I've never even heard of them before, but I was buzzing. Yeah, saved myself a bit of brass, managed to get stuff, and then just after I bought the PSB, the man at O's said, there you go, I'd like you to test them. I was like, well, I've got 2 ponds to test them on. I need to put one at the community pond. Oh, I'll have another one for them then.
Nice. Good lad. Afternoon, Dr. K. Scragster's in.
He's a good lad. Saw him yesterday.
Yeah. Got much love for our Scragster. Much love for our Scragster. Even more love when he comes down with the 2 musketeers. Yeah, I should have said the other 2 musketeers. All right. So, quick plans for the rest of the week, George?
Just get the top coat on this tomorrow. Hopefully the weather breaks to be a bit drier and a bit warmer. It's blowing at 30-40 mile an hour winds at the moment, and it's teeming down with rain. So it's just keeping this dry so you get the top coat on, and that's us. Then we can take the canopy and that down middle of the week and get this side of the shed built, coping's on, window ordered, and go for there.
Yeah, I got to get a price on a bit of glass.
I found that I was looking the other day for something. I found another glass company online who roughly gave me the same. I put in roughly the same mentions for the glass, and it came out about £80 plus delivery. I'm like, and I went back to finally check it. Can I help find the website? Can I help find it? No, it was just a scroll through. It was like through Facebook. It clicked up through there, and can I find it? No.
Can't help you on that one. I don't have face ass.
No.
If you know, you know.
Yeah. Vince has got enough trouble managing Telegram and Facebook. Well,
I would, Greg, but he doesn't answer his messages. Yes.
how good is Scrag grown though? I wish I'd have grown that.
Mate, do you know what impressed me most? Was watching them get that fucking big fiberglass fucking easy pond up over the top of that fucking outhouse. I mean, Jesus.
I thought we were going to find a body under that at one point. I was just waiting for it to slip.
Coming down, mate. I was even watching the video, like, you know, yeah. Take my hat off to you boys, because that was fucking inspirational. That was. And you say I'm fucking nutty, Scrag. I mean, come on. Fair when fair's fair. That was pretty goddamn nutty. I would fucking attempt to do that. Sure.
Well, you know what though? It proves it can be done, because I've been thinking about it for a little space I've got down the side of the garage.
Yeah.
Probably big enough, but it would have to be lifted over a pointed garage roof.
Are you taking the easy pod off, are you, Scrag? Don't know how I had a comment on the phone. Yeah, but do you know how much it is to fucking hire a crane?
Most crane drivers are £50, £60 an hour. Never mind the hire of the crane. Up here anyway.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you taking the Nexus out of the main pond? If so, what bio are you putting in, or is it a combi drum? Fucking hell, there you go. Look, cost of the crane was £400 plus. No, fuck that.
Aaron will be alright anyway. He's got all the ladders for his work, so he doesn't need ladders.
Oh yeah, I'll get it up and over. I'll get a rig set up. But...
I could just imagine poor Leo going, I can't hold it no more, Dad.
And Grandad on the other side, pushing it.
That won't happen. Nah, my poor dad's he's really struggling with his elbow and stuff, lifting stuff beyond that height now. So the blocks are too high. The pond's too deep now for him to lift blocks even on the top to make my job easier now.
Yeah.
So, which I'm not bothered about. Once he's got blocks, it's probably a couple of afternoons work, and I'll be up to doing the window.
Yeah.
But what he's been doing is, at the point we're at now, he's decided that he wants his filter house a lot bigger.
Are you watching it?
Good lad.
So he's hired a skip, and he's currently digging out in front of where it's going to be. I was like, if you're going to do it now, then just do it now. It's no bother. I was like, if you're saying to us, right, the fish can stay in that pond that they've been in for ages, I want my filter said double in size, then no bother. Like, do it how you want it, because we aren't redoing it again.
Yeah.
Right, so yes, we can get that in. Yes, we can get a liner in it, a window in it. And you know what? The position of your filter can be on unions. So even if you put your filter there now and put unions around it, you don't have to have a wall around your filter. It can be outside. We will build your filter house around your filter and cover it up while we're doing it. So
that's pretty much what I had to do with my main pond when I was building Longblock.
Mm-hmm. That's what I kind of done here. Put the filter in place and just built around it. Even though it can get in and out the door, but at least I knew where it was. It wasn't fighting me try to get it in the door. I knew exactly what size I had to build.
Yeah, actually, when I changed my door frame, I think I made it just big enough to be able to get an easy pod out.
And the filter shed's wide enough if I live down the line to get an Nexus 220 in, but the whole front of the shed would need to come off to get it in.
Vince will have a passion for this. It's nowhere near as good as his. But you know what I've been doing this morning, Vince?
What's that?
I've hanged all the cups.
Mugs.
Oh, look at that. Looking awesome.
You was up and out early, weren't you? I was in here at 6:30 with a set square, measuring the distance for each one of them. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they've got to be right.
Oh yeah, and now I've got an adjustable set square now, and I'm not even moving it. That I'll buy another one before I move that one. That is the exact height that way and the distance the other way for mugs placement.
Yeah, man. 83 different YouTube channels, man.
In fact, 17 away from 100.
Nice. How we doing, Jamie? Like around the koi pond? Spag, the only reason for pulling the nexus out is I'm cleaning it every 2 days. I can't afford the time. Mate, I know what you're saying. My bottom drain easy pod, I'm cleaning that every day at the moment. And this is another thing, guys, that, you know, it's all right having big fish or making your pond or fish bigger. Not only do they eat a lot more, they shit a lot more as well. You know, and the only reasons I'm putting that drum in is one.
Are you going onto a drum? Are you?
I'm going on to, you know, if you go back, I think it was just after or just before Christmas, when we were doing stuff in the what we call the old shop.
Yes.
The 2 big round tanks. There was a filtro drum on there, and there was also a filtro drum on the 4 wooden tanks down the side, but they weren't being used. So I've been given one of those, having one of those reconditioned, and that's what I'm going to be putting on.
You lucky boy.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, yeah. And to be honest, it means that I can leave the main pond to tick over on its own then, and then I can concentrate on me going to New Forest and Fry and everything else that I've got going on in the ground knot tank and in the tow-side tank once the build's over. So
I mean, easy pods are good. They serve a mega purpose, but once you start getting stocking levels like what you've got, there's only so much they can do, isn't they? Unless you are literally their sole keeper of cleaning them 24/7.
Well, see, that's all I've got in mine is an easy pod and a bio bin at the moment. So
yeah, that's all I started off with.
So-
And I mean, if you go back to the start of my channel, I was actually running a homemade easy pod.
Yeah.
And a bio bin.
Mhm.
You know, and I've had an email from a gentleman, and he's like, Vince, you don't need a drum, build it. And I'm like, yeah, I agree, because I know I've built homemade easy pods and that, but I don't want to have to keep cleaning out the main pond when I could be concentrating more on the grow-ons and everything else that I've got going on. And it is mainly just to make things easier for me as far as the main pond's concerned, especially now that I've got the
You
koi
only
show.
have to look at Righty, right? Righty has put a 20 koi drum in, even though he'd made his own one himself for easy, for reliability, right?
Yeah.
Hats off to that guy. He can make anything, and if he's known it's time to make his life easier, and that's the route he's gone down, and that's exactly what. And I've tried to pitch that to my dad and said, "Are you sure you want to be doing this, or now why don't you just square it up for something that can literally you can sit and enjoy it and don't have to be as involved?"
And don't get me wrong, I do get a weird kick out of cleaning easy pods, but when you've got 4 of the motherfuckers to clean, you know, it ends up taking almost all fucking day if you want to clean them properly. You know,
That's nearly as much as some small koi shops, isn't it?
yeah. You
I'm
know,
lucky enough where I've placed my easy pod. If it worst comes to worst, I can just take out a drum, put a drum only there, because I've still got the bio bin and everything else. It's going to be there, so it's an easy enough change. You know what I mean?
yeah. But it's basically the one I'm going to be putting on is exactly the same as the one our Simon's got. from up North Koi.
I think I'm going to have to leave these guys. That's me just got a text message. Right, come on, it's time to go for dinner. So,
All right, mate. Well, I think what we'll
I'll
do
do
is
that.
we'll wrap it up there because I've still got half a mix of sand and cement downstairs to get
Yeah.
used up.
oh, I
I
hope
thought
that's
I'd
still.
hop on because I said I would, but I'm still in the middle of doing everything.
Mate, thank you for joining us. George, thank you for joining
No
me.
bother, buddy.
Thank you, Ty. And
Well,
Will, don't forget Will's auction. As always, guys, I've been Twisted Koi. You've got George there from Lomond Koi, Aaron down there from Humber Koi. You lot out there are always great. We'll see you same place, same time next week. Laters.
see you later, mate. Bye, Aaron.